Medina was at peace. But destiny had written a moment that would change history forever. Umar ibn al-Khattab, the second Caliph of Islam, the man whose name made the empires of Rome and Persia tremble, the very symbol of justice. After the great battles against Persia, prisoners were brought to Medina. Among them stood a man dressed in royal garments, filled with pride and arrogance. His name was Hormuzan. When he was presented before Caliph Umar, Umar looked at him and said, "Take off these royal clothes. Here there is no room for kings or pride." Hormuzan was shaken. This was not a king before him, but a leader who wore patched clothes, sat on the floor, and lived with justice. Umar then gave him water to drink. Hormuzan hesitated and said, "If I drink, perhaps I will be killed." Umar replied, "As long as you are drinking, you will be safe." Hormuzan spilled the water onto the ground and said, "Now you cannot kill me." Umar smiled and said, "Yes, we gave our word." This honesty struck Hormuzan's heart, and later he embraced Islam. But in Medina, another man lived. His first name was Fairuz, but people called him Abu Lulu, a skilled craftsman, a slave. But inside his heart burned hatred, hatred born from the defeat of Persia. One day he came to Umar and complained, "My master takes too much from me." Umar promised fairness, but Abu Lulu's rage only grew. Then came that fateful day, the 1st of Muharram, 24 AD. It was time for the Fajr prayer. The believers stood in rows. Umar led the prayer when suddenly Abu Lulu rushed forward and struck with a double-edged dagger. Once, twice, again, 7 times in total. Blood poured onto the mosque floor. The Caliph fell. The people screamed. The rows broke. Abu Lulu tried to flee, but when surrounded, he killed himself. On the ground, bleeding, Umar regained consciousness. His first words were not of himself. He asked, "Did the Muslims complete their prayer?" When told yes, Umar thanked Allah. For days he lay wounded, and then his soul returned to his Lord. The streets of Medina filled with weeping. Every tongue cried, "Today the pillar of Islam has fallen." Umar was the man about whom it was said, if even a dog were to go hungry by the river Euphrates, Umar would be held responsible. Once, a lamp of the treasury burned while Umar worked. Someone asked him a personal question. He immediately blew out the lamp and said, "This belongs to the public. Its light cannot be used for private matters." Another night, while patrolling, he saw a woman boiling stones in a pot. Her children cried from hunger. Umar's heart trembled. He carried flour on his own shoulders, cooked food with his own hands, and fed the children. With tears in his eyes, he whispered, "O Allah, if these children had slept hungry tonight, Umar would have been questioned by you." This was Umar, a man who conquered empires but ruled hearts with justice. And so Umar ibn al-Khattab left this world, martyred in prayer, but immortal in history. His enemies died in disgrace, but his justice, his name, and his legacy shall live until the end of time.